What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards here today to talk about what are we all doing with the market dip? Is this a massive buying opportunity or are we sitting on the sidelines? Are you going after one big card that you're seeing come way down, or are you looking to attack some medium card, like five $1,000 cards instead of a $5,000 card? So that's what we're going to talk about today. YouTube stuff down below, like, comment, sub, all that jazz. So yeah, I'm gonna be straight up. I don't know. I am in a very weird position, and part of recording this video is for me just to kind of speak this into existence and talk out loud about it to nobody, well, to all of you in the comments down below. But right now, myself alone with a microphone and a monitor, I am really at a weird place right now. So I have a decent little stash of money, nothing crazy. I'm not talking about like $30,000 or anything ridiculous like that, but I got a few $1,000 that I am ready to, Sasha tee it up and make some plays or whatever you want to call it. And I am very torn on what to do. Very torn. On one hand, I've talked, anyone that's watched the channel for a while, I've talked about LeBron Topps Chrome. I would really like to own one, both for, especially now, I think they're getting a little too cheap. And, we're Northeast Ohio Sports Cards here. Wouldn't mind having a LeBron rookie laying around for a while. It wouldn't be something that I would necessarily quick flip. It would be something that I would most likely be looking to hold for a while, like years potentially. Not saying that I wouldn't move it if like the price doubled again and things went nutso, but who knows? But that wouldn't necessarily be the plan getting into the card. So I am in the range now where I could potentially pull the trigger on something like that. Like I could make that play right now if I wanted to. However, the National's coming, and I would like to have money to make moves at the National, but maybe that's folly. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe prices aren't going to be that great at the National. Maybe I'm going to get wrapped up in a bunch of other just hanging out with everybody shenanigans and not have a ton of time to like be walking around looking for every little deal on the show floor. So maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. But I could pull the trigger on one now. Part of it is I do think that they might still continue to creep down a little lower. But I think the LeBron Topps Chrome market, we actually might be closer to the bottom than we all think. I could be wrong. The PSA 10's sitting at about 14-ish K, 14 to 15K. PSA 9s, you could probably get one for 4K-ish if you really looked around. They're between 4 and 5K. I've seen them sell off eBay for 3,900 to 4. So if you really want one, I'm sure you could find one. So would I rather go into something like that for, let's say, 4K-ish, if I just paid straight cash for it, didn't trade anything into it? Or, is it better off? Maybe not better off's the right word, but does it make more sense to go after some smaller stuff? So, for example, things I have been targeting, the market is down, so I am consolidating into, I want proven, established players. I don't want no Kevin Porter Jr.'s. I don't want no Bol Bols. I don't want no Sex or no Lands. I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes, LeBron, Luka. Those are the three primary ones when it comes to those sports. Baseball, Tatis, Soto, Acuna, Vlad, specifically refractors, whether it's a true refractor or a pink or a prism or a whatever. But I'm looking at those four and refractors. Once again, I'm continuing to steer clear of Ohtani. He just scares the hell out of me. But I would be intrigued if his prices ever dropped. I do like him as a player. From an investment standpoint, he scares me a little bit. Maybe that's a mistake. I'll sit out on the sidelines on this one and just enjoy watching him play baseball. So I could easily go get, an Acuna refractor PSA 10, a Vlad PSA 10. That would be about $1,000 right there. I could go get a Mahomes optic for 1,1700 base, and then still have another $1,000, 13, $1,200 to go get maybe like a Lucas Silver PSA 9 or something, or an Optic Hollow PSA 9 or something else. And then I still have the evil mistress of the comic book market sitting on my shoulder, whispering sweet nothings into my ear on how instead of a LeBron Topps Chrome PSA 9, you could have a Hulk 181 mid grade or a Giant Size X-Men 1 mid grade. That little devil is always sitting there whispering those sweet nothings into my ear to pull me away from the card market. But the comic book market is also slowing down a little bit, and I feel like I lucked out. I fell into the comic book market when the sports card market was at an all-time high, which helped probably saved me from buying more cards than I did in January, February, March, and April before things started to downturn. Because really everything I've bought this year has basically gone down, at least in physical form. Some Star Stock stuff has stayed flat, but I bought the Mitchells, they went down. I bought the Luca Select, it went down. So we're in the down market now. There is deals to be had, in my opinion. I don't know that we're 100% at the bottom yet, but I think we're getting closer and closer. And I'm specifically looking at non-base stuff, unless we're talking about Mahomes. In that case, I would probably be looking at base optic. I guess I could go for an optic hollow. That's about the same price as a LeBron Topps Chrome. But when I'm spending that much, I actually feel safer in the LeBron because he's already more established with multiple rings at the end of his career. He could retire tomorrow and it's not going to affect his value much. Whereas if Mahomes never wins another Super Bowl, it could. So I guess that's the big question. Like, what is your guys and girls thought process right now? Are you looking at the market and going, man, that, whatever. If it's not LeBron, say KD. Maybe you're a big KD fan. Boy, that KD Topps Chrome getting pretty cheap in a PSA 10 or a PSA 9 compared to where it was. Maybe it's time for me to pull the trigger on something like that. I've been eyeing one up for a while. Or are you going with the little lower end approach, saying, hey, I could run out and get, a Trae Young Silver PSA 9 for about the cheapest I've ever been able to get one, or a Morant. If you're a big jaw guy like I am, you could go make some smaller stuff. Go get a optic purple for dirt cheap, or an optic hollow or something like that, or even Zion. Maybe you're a big Zion person. His stuff's dirt cheap. His PSA 10 prisms are down to $400. Or are you going for more of the big plays? Like I said, I'm actually torn right now, and it's probably potentially costing me because I am indecisive on what to do. I have the pool of money. I am willing to put it into the market, but I am like caught in this crosshairs of not knowing what I want to do. And I think part of it is the LeBron Topps Chrome monkey on my back, if you will. That's out there and that's attainable. But to do that, it pretty much will wipe out a lot of other plays. So do I go push all the chips in the middle, if you will, and go all in on that? It would be quite all in, but. Or do I kind of hedge my bets and go after a chalk toss? A chalk toss 2008 Chrome PSA 10 are down to like $1,300, $1,400. It's like a pop 257 card. If there's 250 of them, give or take. I was looking hard at one at the card show in Youngstown on Sunday, but we couldn't come to a deal. So I don't know. Like I said, I am just very torn right now. I know that whatever I want to do, I want to go after high-end players and preferably color, even if it's in a PSA 9. And maybe even in a PSA 10. Some of this stuff's getting cheap, like real cheap. And eventually the market's going to come back. I really do think the market's going to come back. We are not going to see the February highs, at least not for a while. Maybe certain cards get back up there, but I don't think anything gets anything remotely close to that. But I have faith that though the market is in a correction right now, that the hobby, in air quotes, whether it's collecting, investing, whatever, that's the hobby now. The hobby is collectors and it's investors. It is what it is. The collectors hate the investors hate the collectors. It's fine, but when you say the hobby, you're lumping those two things together, whether you like it or not. The collectors won't like to hear that. The investors won't like to hear that. It is what it is. we're all playing under the same umbrella. We're all interacting with each other. We could stop the Facebook wars. It is what it is. But I do feel like, though some people are going to leave from this downswing, I have absolute faith that the hobby as a whole, once we get through this, is probably going to be the strongest it's ever been. There are so many new people that came into it, and it is still popular. Cards are still selling. Yes, prices are lower, but cards are still selling. Card show turnout is good. I went to the trade night at Card Collector 2 last week. That was absolutely fantastic. It was packed. The energy in that place was amazing. It was some of the most fun that I've had in the last, really since I've been in this, because it's the first real time you've been able to really interact like that. I haven't been able to get out to the Dallas show and stuff and hang out at those trade nights and stuff. And, the shows around here are different. A show vibe is different than a bunch of people hanging out, talking shop, making trades, swinging some deals versus walking around at a show where it's slightly more, I don't want to say adversarial, but me versus you type setting across a table. You as a vendor and me as a customer. To trade night, I think those walls get torn down a little bit. And, just hanging out and talking to people for hours on end about cards, the card market, whether it's collecting, investing, whatever, was an absolute blast. And, you're seeing that happen at the Dallas show. You're still seeing a ton of interest in the hobby as a whole. So I have faith that once everything corrects and we get back to the normal, more normal price movements, that the hobby itself is still going to be perfectly fine. It's not going anywhere. Obviously, it's been around forever. But I feel like it is going to be stronger than ever. The inflationary period that we just went to and now the downswing is going to, in my opinion, weed out a lot of the bad actors. As the money gets back to more reasonable levels, a lot of the people that are just in it to chase are going to be gone. There's still going to be some. I take an investing angle on it because I am looking to flip smaller cards into bigger cards to eventually get to the cards that I want. I can't just walk out and buy a LeBron Topps Chrome right from day one when I started doing all this shenanigans, but now I'm at the point where I can. And that was done primarily by making money through the hobby. Buying small, selling for a little bit of a profit, flipping that into the next thing, flipping that into the next thing. So here we are. We're in the dip. Now is the buying opportunity, and I don't know what the hell to buy. I am so at a crossroads right now with what to actually do. And I wonder, like I said, part of me doing this was, am I the only one like this? What are you all doing? Are you sitting on the sidelines and saying, you know what? I'm in the red on too much stuff right now. Time out for me. I'm just going to kind of watch stuff free fall and then maybe I'll dive back in. Or were you pretty smart about it and you're in a relatively okay position and maybe you've been selling some stuff on the way down to get out of stuff that you don't really want? That's kind of what I've been doing. Cards that I really don't want, I've just been looking to move off to. Even if I take 80% eBay comps, whatever, get it gone before, I'm not necessarily upside down on it yet. But let me just move it and let me consolidate this money and start to move in the cards that I really want as prices continue to come down on stuff. Are you more in that section where now you're kind of like, okay, I got my nest egg and I'm ready to go put it into play? Or are you like, I got to fire sale everything? It's all going. It's Kmart. The blue light special is on. We're on the intercom. Come to the shoe department. Like, we're literally lighting racks on fire. That's how good this fire sale is. Like, it's a real fire sale, not a Facebook fire sale where we pretend and we take 30 cents off. So where are you guys and girls at? Because I honestly, someone needs to slap me in the face and knock me out of this indecisive period that I am in. Because I want to do something. I really do. I really do. But I just cannot pull the trigger on anything. I'm just caught in this weird place. And hopefully I'm not the only one feeling this way. Maybe I'm the crazy one here. Who knows? Wouldn't be the first time. Would not be the first time. Let me tell you. So that's where I'm at right now. I want to actively make plays. I know what I want to make the plays on. I just cannot prioritize them, I guess, correctly. I cannot put them in the right order for what I want to go make a move on. I guess that's a me problem. But like I said, maybe I'm not the only one feeling this way. I don't know. There's a card show Saturday in Hartville. I am legit hoping something entices me. Maybe I run into a LeBron and it's too good of a deal to pass up. And I just make the play and move on to get that off the list. And then that frees me up for some of this other stuff. But I do still think that card continues to go lower. I don't know. Maybe I could partial trade into one or something and ease a little bit of the financial burden off of it. That would be a perfect world. Trade in $1,000 worth of stuff and pay cash for the rest of it. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. That's all I got for you guys and girls today. I don't know if this was helpful to anybody else. I don't know that it was helpful for me. It feels good to just get that off my chest. I feel relieved, feel a little refreshed. I still don't know what I want to do. But yeah, let me know your guys and girls' thoughts. What are you guys doing in this downswing? Do you have a plan? I have the plan. I'm just not executing the plan at all. My plan is a jumbled mess, but it's there. It exists. It's on a whiteboard, not literally. So smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave me a comment down below. Catch you guys and girls tomorrow for another NBA market update playoff edition deep dive for the Friday video. We will catch you on that one. Peace.